I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, help support the cause. I get everyone involved. I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, help support the cause. I get everyone involved.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Welcome to the Nudelberg Daily Huddle. It's a short week, but I'm glad.
This is it, bro. This is it. Long ride today and then done.
It's a long ride today. Hopefully everybody is getting through, finishing up all their work and preparing for Turkey Day. How's your week been so far? How was your Monday?
They say today and tomorrow, two of the busiest days ever in the airports.
Makes sense.
We will not partake in that. We will partake Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, you will be flying out on Thanksgiving to go to New York. You will be with Helen's kids. I will be with Mark and my mom. So we're super excited for Turkey Day. I mean, I have some hot takes on Thanksgiving, but I don't think. I think if I'll just let it out early, I think if we like the food as much as everyone says they did, they would eat it more than once a year.
You are not a turkey guy.
I am not a turkey guy. I have had some good turkeys. There was one year I went to a Southern, like a true Southern Thanksgiving, which was pretty special. You know, they had the fried turkey, the mac and cheese that was, all loaded up, and that was a good experience. I enjoyed that meal, but most of the time I'm not a turkey person. I'm really not. And I will even admit this. My mother let me know that I asked her to make me a steak last year. I didn't remember that, but you know what? Sometimes just a ribeye would do the job with some mac and cheese and potatoes.
Always a ribeye.
And guess what? And I was very thankful for it, but it is not always about the food. It is about the people you spend it with. So I hope everybody is going to.
So Jonathan Aarons is not a turkey guy. We do a traditional meal at a great restaurant in the city. It's been a tradition of ours, and I'm glad to be part of that. I love tradition. Speaking of traditions, the Dolphins will be playing the Green Bay Packers in cold weather. Who would have thought that 2 years ago on Christmas Day,
2 years ago,
it was colder here than it was in Green Bay?
It was colder here. I think it was under 45 degrees. I think it was like 42 at kickoff. It was raining. Cold. Look at you. You're absolutely bundled up. I got 3 layers on. That was a sad day. That was Tua did not remember the second half, which seems to be a common theme with him. But hopefully it goes better this year. They'll be wearing their throwbacks. It feels good to be to play on that day. I think it is a special day to be a part of the NFL. So I'm excited to be.
Tough because I'm gonna eat a turkey dinner at 5.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay up till 8:30 to watch the game.
Yeah, listen, I have some friends who are going to the Packers game, and I knew that November in Lambeau is no place for Jake. So,
but I will tell you, going to Lambeau is a treat. I've been there. I saw them get mollywopped when Ray Lucas was the quarterback way back when on Monday Night Football. But speaking of old Dolphins, we got to sit down for lunch yesterday with an old friend, Sam Madison. And I love the way you referred to him. He is a Dolphin legend.
Absolutely. I growing up, obviously you had access to those guys, to be around them. I was fortunate enough to follow you around and get to see them. And they hold a special place in my heart. I think all those guys was the first, introduction to football for me. The Jason Taylors, the Sam Madisons. I mean, all those guys, they were Weston dudes. Their kids ended up growing up around us and stuff like that. So like, I remember Joey Porter, used to always be out there with his kids, who I know his son now plays in the NFL, which is insane. Remember him playing in Weston and stuff like that. So it's so cool.
I remember Joey Porter actually addressing the team. With one of the best pregame speeches ever.
Yeah, we were like 9, or we were 10, and this guy's like in the Steelers locker room in front of us, So super cool to catch up.
So much going on, so much great stuff. Couple of things. Last night we had brothers against each other. What would that mean to you to coach against your brother?
So
You never had
funny.
that opportunity.
It's so funny because I do think me and Mark's relationship is unique in the fact that we are half brothers and there is an age gap and stuff like that, but we also remain best friends and mentor-mentee kind of relationship. And I saw, Harbaugh walked up or Jim walked up to John and gave him a big hug, and immediately they went right into brothers mode. John looked at Jim and said, "What have you been lifting? You're looking good. You've been lifting," and goes, "You want to arm wrestle?" So it is cool. They spent 16 years in the same room. And then, John's or Jim's final comment before the game started goes, "Look, I would lay my life down for my brother, but I would never let him win a football game," and sure enough, he's never beat him. So, that is something that he will have to get over the hump eventually. But yeah, I just think to watch how successful those two have been, obviously a legacy from their father that was passed down. And they do it the right way. They coach good football. It was a fun game last night.
That was a good football game last night.
Yeah. I don't know that if me and Mark met at midfield, I would say what I really meant to say, or would say. And so I would keep it PG for the microphones, because I would definitely be texting him throughout the week, little jabs and stuff like that, but it is cool. It is cool that they get to do that they're back both in the NFL, both with successful teams. It's what makes football special.
Love it. Love it. So before we get to wake up music, we talk about traditions and stuff like this. This is one I don't get. President Biden pardoned the turkeys yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's a customary thing.
What is it?
It's a common thing. The president will pardon the turkey before.
What does that mean? What did I fall asleep at the wheel or something? What is that?
I don't know the true symbolic nature or what it means for the rest of us, but it's a tradition that they do every year. I think they do a turkey trot or something around the White House, or I don't know. It's just to make us all feel good for killing turkeys. I don't know. I have no idea.
Good morning, Scott Garber. Good morning, Henry Paisano. He's definitely doing an Italian turkey. Donna Goldfarb, Bob Goldfarb, Tim Anderson, all the way from the Northwest. Way to be here this morning. Josh, Mike, all you great people. Let's wake this thing up and close out Thanksgiving. All right. First of all, I got to shout you out. Today's workout, just phenomenal. Not that they all aren't. I love it. Was sharing with Sam, the journey I'm on. He goes, "Dude, man, you look amazing." But today you added the stretching.
Yeah. I think I did that with Ed too. I just, you got to have some feel for your clients and where they're at with their bodies and things that might help them progress forward or alleviate any pain that might exist. And look, you guys are some of the most wound up human beings I've ever seen in my entire life. I shout out Ed Dykes. I would tell you, I thought you were the most non-stretched person ever. Ed probably has you beat. But look, you have to stretch. It is an all-encompassing mindset and belief system. So
excellent. As we do every morning, and we'll do this on our final show of this week. We're going to have a quote about, gratitude. Like, it's not a one-time thing. So go for it.
Cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you and to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. Ooh.
Incredible. Boom.
All things have contributed to your advancement, right? I think if you only think of the positive, you won't realize how good sometimes the negatives are for you that push you forward. And you should just be thankful for the life you live and everything that gets thrown at you, good and bad, and find a place, let it fuel you and move you forward.
Two of my calls yesterday, two of my coaching engagements, both shared their journey in the 5-minute journal.
Yeah.
which made me feel so great. Like that is a habit of theirs now, that they get up and they write down 3 things that they're grateful for. And there's so much to be grateful for. I don't care where you are in the journey. So, I have this thing, Thanksgiving dinners. Sometimes you wouldn't go to be around the people that you're unless it's Thanksgiving. Like, who would you like to have at your Thanksgiving table? And for me, Matthew McConaughey sits right at the head of that
And I will
table.
shout out his tuna fish recipe. That is going viral right now.
Yeah, he's
I don't know if
insane, man,
anybody's
right?
a tuna, and just the way he talks about ketchup and tuna fish, it doesn't matter what he talks about. I'm like, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. So let's hear from Matthew McConaughey this morning.
I would rather be hated for who I truly am than to be adored for someone who I'm not. Love based on a lie is of no worth. I would rather be rejected for being my true self than to be embraced by the false side of me. People don't have to like me. And I won't change how I am to suit other people. What you see is what you get. I've done bad things and made plenty of poor decisions, but I'll always remain true to myself. Even though I don't like some of the things I've done, in that moment, it felt like the right thing to do. No matter who you're with or what new friends you make, never change yourself to suit them.
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. And I know his new thing is, he wishes people were more full of themselves, not in the sense of egotistical, but accepting their authentic self, being in tune with their authentic self, trying to find it, experimenting with things in order to find what works for you. And he seems like one of those guys that is just wildly at peace with who he is,
I'm
how
glad
he
you said
does
that.
it.
Because when you can find that peace, life is different. Everybody's so wound up. You talked about all this little shit. Then you listen to the guy, the way he talks and the way he is so genuine about, listen, I didn't like some of the things I did, but I did them, and that resonates with me so much, especially getting, like you and Sam, me watching you and Sam talk about me when I worked with Sam back in him as a rookie. I was a different guy.
Yeah.
I was afraid to stop because I thought if the merry-go-round stopped, I would fall off.
And I think it's okay to be a different kind of self at different points in your life because it requires you to be a different kind of self, right? You have different priorities. You had kids, you had 2 kids, you had houses. Like, you had to be that way. You had to be hungry. You had to grind. You had to make it work. And it wasn't an option not to make it work, right? And that's okay at points in your life. And you don't want to lose your full identity. But it forces you to do different things, right? And be a different way. And so kudos to you. I said this to you yesterday, the social proof that exists when you see these old guys that you were around is incredible. The way they receive you, the way that there is this unwritten or untalked about history, of what it was like back then. And everybody has kind of moved on in their own ways, but remembers it very similarly, which is really cool. I think that when you're said and done, you hope that people remember it the same way you do, right? Or a similar version.
Yeah,
of the way
that's a
that
really good point. Like, I have a view of what happened then, but we're good at selling ourselves and creating stories. Does the other person or the other really feel that way? And when you hear it, like when he was telling stories about us being at the Super Bowl in Atlanta, I mean, it was like,
I think that's the great part of telling stories and being willing to share experiences. And look, I love with technology that they send us pictures every year of what we did the year prior, and I send them to people every year. It's my way of staying in touch and holding on to memories and the way that those made me feel and moved me forward as a person. And I hold on to those. I cherish memories. That's why I take pictures of everything. That's why I take videos. I want to document it. I want to remember it. And it's my personal journey, and so I do it through pictures and videos. But however you do, hold on to it. Remember how those events made you feel, the people you were with, and share it with it consistently. Because I think that's it's important when we spend money and we do things like that's
They
are long lasting.
Shay, can I get a bang, please?
Pulls up, 3-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good!
Unreal. So Jake, Mark, and I have this thing when we come upon a song that we like, we always text it to each other, and it might be something really old, might be something new. It doesn't matter. It just happens to move us at the moment. Jake drives west at 4 o'clock in the morning. He sends a note of something he's listening to heading west. I was on my Monday walk yesterday, and I was searching, and bang.
You found one.
I found one, a doozy. It had been in my playlist. I don't know where I had heard it before, but I give you Lost Frequencies.
It's been a hard year, feeling the weight now. All of the hurt, all of the dirt, all of the shame now. Nothing but closed doors, I'm not gonna break down. So doubt is a strong drug, it gets in your bloodstream. You lose your hope, you lose your soul, you lose the whole thing. Enough for my whole life to know it won't break me. Stopping now, gonna make my way right through the clouds. I rise, I'm gonna grit my teeth and bear the pain. Gonna climb this mountain once again. I rise,
One of the cooler videos too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, great song, great finds. I know I've been jamming that and Soft Spot, which was what Mark found.
If you go to their collection or greatest hits or whatever, every one is better than the next. I mean, it's really solid music. Hope you enjoy that. Music is a mover, we know that. But I'm going to close out the show with something you like brought up in a conversation. And it passed me by, probably passed most people by. Citadel played Clemson, clearly an outmatched game. Watch this video.
Oh, not at all. He's supposed to. We expect for that to happen. I'll tell you a quick story. The official came over to me, the head referee, and said, "Hey, we can go to 10-minute quarters." And I said, "For what? We're not doing that. We're here to play ball. We're here to compete. We're here to compete." And that's what the messaging is to our guys. And then we played a game inside the game. So what we told them at halftime is, "Hey, let's win the third quarter. Let's make the third quarter a game." We lost 10-7. You saw I pulled them all up before the fourth quarter. I said, "All right, guys, we got a new game. This game is just one quarter only. Who can win?" And we won the fourth quarter. So now we got a win going into our off-season program, and we're excited about that.
When did they ask you about the 10-minute quarter thing, just to follow up?
At
halftime, okay.
Yeah.
So you said no to that? Yeah.
Yeah, I probably used a bad word that my mother wouldn't be proud of.
So if you don't understand the way college football works, these are called paid games. These teams get paid $1 million, $500,000, which is big money for them to support their athletic departments, their football teams, and a big part of college football to keep the entire ecosystem running. And so Citadel goes and they get absolutely spanked, by Clemson, which is kind of is the goal. And I just think it's a perfect example of how your mindset is if you're outcome driven or process driven, right? Because you can get back to the process consistently, right? And you can test that process consistently in a vacuum, just like he did within the third quarter or the fourth quarter. But what are you doing with your mindset, right? Why are we here, right? If we're just here to get paid and go through the motions, then we're not doing it the right way, right? And I think for him to instill that in young men, for him to have that belief as a guy who was standing on the other sideline getting spanked by Clemson, you know, down 50 or whatever they were at the time that they asked him. I just think it's just a great reminder for us that we can always get back to the process, right? And not be so driven on the outcome and make sure that we're doing the right things that we can handle, right?
So, you know, for me, it's all about choice. You know, you can wallow in the fact that you got your ass kicked, or you can take and make something good of it. And that's what he did in a very short burst. He said, we're going into next week with a win. We set the goal lower just this quarter. Tighten it up. Small incremental changes and wins create gigantic wins. You know, Aristotle taught us that, you know, so it's, if you focus on small, you know, most people are setting their goals for next year and they're setting themselves up for failure. You know, it's like, oh, we're going to climb the mountain. We're going to swallow the ocean. Small incremental things that you stack. And so I love when a guy, first of all, he looks cool as hell.
Confident
in there. And he goes, look, we came to play.
Right.
You know, we got beat in the first half, but that didn't mean we were losers.
The game is the game. Doesn't matter what game you're playing, the game is the game, right? And it is 12 quarters, it is 12 months long, whatever your cycle might be or whatever your game is the game, right? And it's, you are going to play it and you're either going to play it right or you're going to play it wrong. And I think there's just a lot of parallels to life where we go through it. You're going to have ruts in the first quarter. You're going to have ruts in the second or third or fourth or whatever that rut might be. You got to be able to push that aside and move forward and try to, like you said, create momentum or win the small wins. And it's hard for people. That's not an easy task. And I don't think that that is normal for people to do, to get smacked in the face and then be like, I'm still coming, you know, and I'm going to still do my job and get back to the process. And just an unbelievable life lesson. And so I know that Citadel's in good hands and just a great lesson for us to end, I think, the Thanksgiving week on.
I agree, you know, and one of the things that I love about social media and about the way that's, you know, the media focuses on moments, I would never know of that.
Never.
That's something that happened that would have just been in a bubble, but boom, you mentioned it. I Googled it. Bang, I'm looking at a video of the guy. I now know Skylar Fowler, who I am definitely going to follow, you know, because I like his attitude and I like his stuff. And I liken it to this. And I'm not a marathon runner, but I know how marathon runners train. They train 1 mile at a time. And then they stack that up. That's what that guy did. And so winning the fourth quarter, we talked about it at the beginning of the quarter. Win the fourth quarter, because the fourth quarter drives momentum for the next game, the next event, the next anything. So to your point, what a wonderful way to end our week. I loved watching you grow into the seat in your commentary. Absolutely fantastic. Wishing everybody here a wonderful week, whatever time you're taking off. Enjoy family. Enjoy everything around you. Be grateful, because someone around you has it much worse.
And if you know somebody who doesn't have a place to go, invite them as somebody who hasn't had a place to go in years prior. When I was working in football, extend your arm out. It does mean a lot. A lot of people spend Thanksgiving alone and it sucks. So do your part to welcome other people, because it just fills everybody's hearts.
And Jake, your biggest fan is Patrice. I'm just saying, she's like,
I appreciate it.
She's done with me. I'm old, I'm tired. And
I appreciate you guys still showing up to listen. And we'll be back next week with more. And obviously, if you're looking for more, go to OTB or ontheball.co, sign up for our newsletter. Have a great Thanksgiving. If you don't like turkey, eat ham or a steak. If you like turkey, enjoy your turkey and enjoy some football. We will see you next week, guys. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down.